Hello. Today I'd like to address a worrisome element of the 2008 presidential campaign that seems to neglect Turkey's instrumental role in the Middle East in pursuit of the national security and foreign policy objectives of the United States. Many of you probably followed closely the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention, nominating their respective candidates for the President and Vice President of the United States and setting forth their planks that establish policies, foreign policy, national security, and otherwise. What was very conspicuous about those platforms of both parties was their complete neglect of Turkey. It had not even a cameo appearance. And you may also recall that during the run-up to these conventions, there were very dramatized visits paid to the small country of Georgia in the Caucasus, won by Republican presidential candidate John McCain. You remember his famous saying, "We're all Georgians now." That was followed by a visit by Democratic vice presidential candidate Joseph Biden. And thereafter it was topped by Vice President Richard Cheney's visit, flying from the Ukraine to Tbilisi in Georgia and proclaiming a $1 billion aid package to Georgia and promising to move Georgia into the NATO membership. Now, it's a little bit odd when you see that preoccupation with Georgia, despite its relative insignificance in the Middle East. After all, a tiny economy, it's got no military worth anything to speak of. It has no instrumental role in having the force to offset Russia in what could be a new Cold War. Yet it receives a lion's share of attention because it captures the news for one particular day over the clash in South Ossetia. Turkey, in contrast, has not been visited by any of the candidates and recently by the President or Vice President of the United States, who are incumbents. And yet Turkey clearly is the key if the United States is to succeed in the post-2008 presidential elections to move forward in its interest in the Middle East. And let's itemize those areas. At present, Turkey is mediating negotiations between Israel and Syria over the Golan Heights, a true breakthrough after the United States has worked without result for 7 years to broker agreements between Israel and its neighbors or territories. Turkey is also a vital transit country in seeking to diminish reliance of the United States and European Union on dependency on Russia for its oil and gas supplies. And we know how Russia has already blackmailed many countries, including the Czech Republic, Ukraine, Georgia, over oil and gas supplies to extract political compromises. Turkey has already been a wonderful partner in the Baku-Ceyhan pipeline that carries much oil from Baku in Azerbaijan to the Black Sea coast. And it could serve as another alternate corridor for gas to make its way from Central Asia or Azerbaijan to bypass Turkey and make its way to the European Union and the United States. And yet we certainly were not offering, like we did Georgia, Turkey $1 billion in assistance to help move forward those alternate energy pipelines. Turkey is also vital to our effort in Afghanistan to prevail against Taliban and Al-Qaeda in two respects. First, it has twice contributed leadership to the ISAF forces in Afghanistan, and is also helping to negotiate some kind of modus vivendi between Pakistan and Afghanistan over these cross-border attacks by Al-Qaeda or Taliban that is creating such a dangerous powder keg in that area. You know that recently Pakistan threatened to shoot at American troops if they crossed the border. And yet Turkey has the wisdom and knowledge to help smooth relations to two countries. And we should never forget that knowledge counts in those areas of the world where the United States knowledge is relatively scanty. If anything, our experience in Iraq and Afghanistan proves the hazard of acting on ignorance. Turkey is also, finally, a critical player in trying to bring stability to the Iraqis as it coordinates its efforts against the PKK, the terrorist PKK, with the Kurdish regional government in northern Iraq. Turkey also serves as a source of supply, rearmament, and repair for the United States military operations in Iraq, as well as providing an air base at Incirlik. So that insofar as we look at the extrication of the United States from Iraq as being an indispensable element of moving forward in our national security, Turkey cannot be ignored as a major partner in making sure that our retreat from Iraq does not result in chaos or civil war. In sum, the United States cannot continue to ignore major friends in order to capture the theory and thrill of the moment of responding to events that have lesser significance, as the clash with Georgia and Russia over South Ossetia. Our long-term interests can never be subordinated to the short-term goal as making a political statement and an effort to jump polls in the United States campaign. And I would hope that the Republican and Democratic parties recognize that before it's too late. Remember, our popularity in Turkey has plunged from one of the highest in the world to single digits. And when our popularity is below that of Iran and Turkey, which it is, it's time for a wake-up call. Thank you.